People of the internet, I am Native King Guy, and here's a film about a big old cult. As this week, quite fittingly, Total Cult Zone presents Diabolic.
These blackouts are ruining my life.
Hey, Luis! Honey, hey!
I can't live like this.
I found some healers from your old church. There is one last thing we can try.
You have called upon us because we are healers of the natural order. Joseph Smith promised his converts of the true Mormon faith visions of the Lord. Some people feel euphoria. Some are anxious. Some feel impending doom. Elise.
There's lots of memories flooding in.
Mother confessed to seeing a spirit latched onto you. You can feel it, can't you? Whatever that thing was, it's free now.
How does it feel?
How does it feel?
Do you feel, Heavenly Father?
Mercy is grace!
Flesh give birth to flesh. Spirit birth to spirit. Help me! Help me! Help me!
Please don't ask me again.
Yeah. You're not going to pay me sick pay. I'm going to turn up for work because I can.
It's just an eye. I'll be fine.
With a concussion, I'm blind. I'm still turning up for work.
Yes, that's the state of things, though, right? But then I guess that's like the nature of being a wrestler, is sometimes you're just having to make the most of it depending on what you do outside of it.
Yeah. Anyway, that was Glasses Chat. That'll be available on the Patreon.
If you need recommendations, I'm on Blue Sky. Just find me. I'll sort you out.
Yeah. Also, a headphone chat, mic chat. Everyone's sounding a bit odd today because I've got like weird headphones in. No one's using a different computer.
Yeah, this computer's better though, which is what's really annoying.
The mic is though. The mic's a bit tinny.
The mic's tinny.
Is it coming through the laptop rather than the mic?
No, it's coming through the mic. I know it is because every time I press my mute button.
Oh. I don't know if it's just the headphones in. I don't know. It's weird.
It might just be the headset. It's not necessarily a fancy one. I say it's not necessarily a fancy one. It kind of is. It's probably about 70, 80 pounds worth of headset, which for a workplace is an incredibly fancy headset. Because it is my work headset. But that's the first time anyone said that, because usually they say this mic's better than my other one. Like, okay.
I have to listen to the recording. Yeah, it might sound a bit weird today. I don't know. It's tech issues. I've been electrocuted. Which is fun.
Electrocuted, sorry. I should have laughed so hard. But all of a sudden I just was talking to you and then you went, ah.
Yeah.
You could say it's diabolic, Cole. You like my little segue in? Did that work? Did that?
Gonna redo my intro now. Cults. There you go. That's today's thing. Cults. Any experience with cults? Because everyone's been in one.
I mean, I suppose you could say humanity is one sometimes. Social media is one.
Yeah, I've found a couple of weird ones. Ever heard of the coconut cult?
No, but now I'm intrigued.
1903, author and proto-hippie August Engelhardt began publishing open invitations to join him on an island in the South Pacific to live in a nudist colony, eating only coconuts.
Do I have to pay?
No, you can only eat coconuts though.
Just turn up and you eat see, I don't know. I'd probably get bored after a few days of just coconuts. If Wi-Fi was included, I might be tempted.
Yeah, the cult lasted until about 1919 when Engelhart succumbed to malnutrition.
Shock horror.
Yeah, but you can live on more than a decade on just coconuts.
I mean, I didn't think that you could live that long. Man was clear. He clearly was not just eating coconuts though to go that long. Something happened in that cult for him to be called out and him go, "No, look, I promise, I'm only eating the coconuts," and then he dies.
We joined the Sky Kingdom, founded in Malaysia in the 80s by a man calling himself Ayah Pin, who declared himself God.
I can get behind it.
Yeah, mostly just wanted a bunch of wives and a giant teapot.
Again, like if I'm getting to share the responsibilities, then maybe I could get behind it. A giant teapot also sounds pretty cool.
2 stories, pink, and it was continuously getting holy water poured into it.
Oh,
yeah.
For what?
Yeah. Because holy water and teapots and wives.
Because that makes sense. I mean, I suppose that if he had multiple, that means the others were left alone. I imagine that's quite a nice, peaceful existence.
Yeah, a bit of polygamy, Today's film.
Everyone's horses for courses, I suppose. I'm not going to yuck someone's yum.
Yeah. Apparently made money allowing tourists to come to see their teapot.
And it was a giant pink teapot. I'm starting to think that teapot wasn't actually what it was.
How about the cult of Greek bellies?
Go on. I'm listening.
The cult of Greek belly prophets simply did away with the middleman, playing on the belief that the noises from the stomach were the messages from the gods.
Oh, they'd have fucking loved mine then.
Claimed to be able to interpret the noises and appear to have full-blown conversations with the gods by throwing their voices.
I want to know what that looked like.
It's one to look up on a rainy day.
It's not raining today, so fuck.
Yeah, it's very hot. Wait until later tonight.
Yeah, when the weather decides, actually, fuck it.
It's about to rain here, so yeah.
It's not here yet. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, it was stupidly hot before I come on, actually. I had to cover up because I don't think the YouTube algorithm would like my bare arms.
I mean, there's no way of knowing. Bare arms and sunglasses. You just need the god sunglasses on. Maybe that would spin it.
Next time. Red hot sunglasses. I'll film out in the conservatory area. No sunshine blaring through. Sweat pouring off me.
They'll love it. Your guests might not so much, but the algorithm might.
Depends who it is.
True.
Got my nipples out the other day.
Oh dear God.
That video's probably available on YouTube already. Had to blur it though.
Me just like Jane, I am so sorry.
Anyway, Diabolic. That's what we're here for. The Australian produced supernatural horror directed by Daniel J. Phillips. He did Awoken. Comes to Blu-ray, DVD and digital soon. The film stars Elizabeth Cullen, Evil Dead Wrath. Evil Dead, that'll come up later. John Kim, Little Things. Mia Challis from Clickbait and Terence Crawford from The Babadook. After suffering terrifying blackouts, a young woman returns to the religious compound where she was raised. As she unravels the dark secrets of her past, an ancient ritual unleashes the vengeful spirit of a cursed witch. There you go.
I can't say I picked up on the cursed witch stuff so much, but
I was going to put this in the overall thoughts, like the end of it all, but I'm going to lead with it. can we please stop putting based on a true story at the start of a film unless it genuinely was based on a true story? Because I know there's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre excuse, because that's one of my favorite films of all time, and at the start of it there's like based on a true story, and I know that's what people are going for a lot with horror films. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre could have actually happened because the elements in it were feeding off the fears of the actual time, and there was no supernaturalness to it. It was just crazy family.
Slasher movie, right?
Yeah.
It was just a basic slasher movie.
Yeah, this one having the cult element to it, and I made fun of cults at the start, but some of them are actually really, quite nasty. And like people who have escaped cults said that they've been abused in them, and this is kind of offensive to that. Because I know the Mormon cult, which is in it, well, Mormons technically isn't a cult; it's recognized a religion, but cult side of it, people have said that's like a really abusive religion sometimes.
Yeah,
And people
it's
have
hard,
escaped
right?
it. Yeah, it's kind of offensive to those
I
people.
watched the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, right? It's a TV show I actually do really enjoy watching. But there are absolutely toxic elements, not necessarily to the religion itself, but to the people that are involved in the religion.
Yeah.
And oftentimes I think religion is used, and listen, right, I'm agnostic. I'm that way because I really don't want to get to wherever I'm going on death and then be like, shit, I've got some explaining to do. I just want to be able to go, my bad. But I'm also someone who I've been around all types of religion. I was brought up in a Church of England school. I've been around the bad sides of religion and I've been around the good sides of religion. And often that is down to the people as opposed to the actual faith itself. And I think that is a lot of the problem. It's not necessarily the religion or the faith that is bad, it's the people that are bad. It's the same thing that I've felt about with like war and stuff. Often I'm obsessed with the Tudors. There was a lot of religious wars that happened, and it was always put down as being down to the religion. It wasn't. It was the people. It was control. That was literally what it came down to, and that's what this is. Like majority of the time when we talk about cults and stuff like that, it's not what they believe in that's the problem and that's necessarily bad. It's the people that are the lengths they go to. Like this movie for me, it didn't feel like a cult thing. It felt like a poke at conversion therapy. It felt like a poke at those types of things because conversion therapies also exist under the guise of religion and faith, but they're not. They're abuse tactics, they're control tactics, they're manipulation tactics. And those come from people. They might help themselves sleep at night by saying, it's because of my faith, it's because of my religion. Like, look, whatever makes you feel more comfortable with yourself, knowing that you're a shitty person, that's absolutely fine. But it doesn't, I don't know, it's weird, it's hard because I don't like speaking poorly of people who have faith because I have met people who have been genuinely like, there are people in my life who have helped me so much, who have had religious beliefs, but then there's been people who have been genuinely fucking cunts to me who, sorry YouTube, who have had faith and have done everything under the guise of faith, but it's not faith, they're just a bad person, they're just bad people. Yeah. So I don't know, it's a hard one. I find it a really touchy subject because of the fact that like I feel that I have a defensiveness towards certain people and a non-defensiveness towards others. And like the Mormon faith in particular, there are people in that are amazing people, but then there are others who are just not good people. And I have seen that faith either destroy or bring up people. And it's not, it's hard. It comes down to the individual at the end of the day, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, ran over.
No, it genuinely comes down to the person who believes in it. Because if you read the Bible, it's like you can take certain things from it, and a lot of people take the whole, love everybody, be nice to everyone, spread joy. Because you got the current Pope like preaching about stuff. We've got to change the ways. The Bible is kind of, it's old. We need to update little bits on it, and obviously they're not going all the way. Right, you can go, yeah, this Pope's a great guy because they're still hiding stuff and that whole.
I think
Yeah,
it's one of those things of I think it's understandable to want to move on from something
yeah,
and show something in a different light if you are not actively involved. But I think it comes down to the lack of acknowledgement being the problem.
yeah. But
Then
then,
there has to be an acknowledgement, right, of the things that have happened.
but then people are denouncing the Pope for having that stance, and it's like, well, he's not the Pope anymore. He's been corrupted, or he's not the actual thing. And it's like you believe the same thing. You've not taken the same message that that guy has. And there, in religion, you have people are perfectly fine with people living their lives. It's like, yep, you've got your life, cool. It's not the way I want to live. They're not trying to convert you. You're not saying you're going to hell. Going to hell. It's like, yep, cool. You can live your life the way you want. That's the message you got from the Bible. And other people take the other ones where it's extreme levels of you're going to go to hell. I'm going to preach on the street corner and say everyone's going to go to hell because they're going to whatever in their lives.
A lot
It's
of people,
almost like people are pricks because they want to be pricks.
yeah, and faith is often something they use as a guide for that. The thing that
Yeah.
always gets me, and the thing that I've always said when people have come for me, is about the Book of Job, because Job is somebody who, so again, I went to Church of England school, so the Bible is something that I did have to kind of know about. And in Job, he is put under several different tests under God to have him denounce him. I think he kills his sons, he kills his livestock, like he does a bunch of shit to Job till Job says, that's it, I can't believe in God anymore. Like, I can't believe this. And yet, when Job then meets God, God forgives him for denouncing him, right? And despite the fact that God did all of these shitty things to him. And a lot of people forget that that exists within Christianity and even, you know, within the Bible even, because it's like you don't need to, because that's the whole point, is God forgives. I put that in commas. So you don't need people to believe in your faith because God is going to love them anyway, according to your faith. So why does it matter to you how these people are living their lives? Because God's going to love them anyway, and God's going to forgive them anyway. So why does it matter? And that's always been my argument against it, is that you can say what you want about it, but that exists in the Bible. It's there. If you know your Bible, you know it's there. You know that that's how it is. You know about Mary Magdalene. You know about all of these people who apparently were not good people or denounced God, and God still loved them anyway, because that's the message of the Bible, is that you should love them still anyway. So why is it a problem? You know, I get they don't fucking come for me, okay? I know my Bible.
Yeah, the message I got from it is like, don't be a prick to people. Cool, I'm not a prick to people.
Yeah.
If God does exist and I get to the end, it's like, oh, right, yeah, you want to prick to people. Cool.
Well, this is the thing, he's gonna love you anyway. That's the whole point. That's the message of the Bible. You can do whatever you want and he's gonna love you anyway. Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. Anyway, this film starts off with a baptism, which I'm going to call waterboarding for Christ because,
I mean, it
yeah,
fucking was. Yeah.
yeah.
Holy shit.
I think the film does the thing of it. Isn't this weird thing, you know, normal people, normal lives, but there's something slightly off about them and the situation they're in. And I think this is the first part of the film for me. It does that whole, isn't this weird? Isn't this weird? And it doesn't do enough of them having a normal life, the weird thing to be paying off, because they go from that baptism, a bit of the scary monster turns up and you don't see it fully, but there's something scary and weird there, and it jumps forward 10 years and then they start doing the weird shit really quickly again, and you're like, you've not given me enough of their life to really sort of invest in them that much. So yeah, doing the isn't this weird thing for the first quarter of the film, I don't know, it's the kind of feel I've got of it. And then
See, I didn't remember a lot about the film other than it was, I'm gonna sit and say it wasn't a bad film. The jump scares were on point. The actual detail of the movie, though, is it something that I would recommend to friends if they wanted a film to just put on? Probably. But I don't remember a hell of a lot of the detail of the movie. There was a twist in it that I did like.
I think
Um,
twist is probably the thing I liked about it as well. I think
it
fact
was
that you can't
good.
remember it, it's very dull with the start of it though. There's a lot of just
Yeah, there
walking around
was.
and isn't this weird?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. So I did watch this with Ben. Ben hated every second of it because he's just not a jump scare person. So for him, like he had the time of his life, but like what time of life, I don't know. Um, um, it's
Yeah.
hard because, like you said, I couldn't really get invested in the characters, but then at the same time, I didn't. What was her name? I'm just
The main one,
scrolling
Elise.
over. Yes, she was good at being weird because she was good at being weird. Like that was
Hmm.
kind of the point that I got, was that she was supposed to be a bit weird, right? Like she'd gone through some really horrible shit and she was supposed to be a bit weird. Um I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, there's just that 10 years of being normal but having weird stuff like you being slightly off because you've survived something traumatic.
Yeah.
You don't get enough of that to really have the weirdness and the fact she's been traumatized pay off.
It felt normal.
Yeah, it
It
just
felt
kind
like
of
this was just their life.
yeah, it just kind of happened. You're like, okay, you've been dealing with this for 10 years, digging up the garden because she killed a dog, was it?
Um I don't think that it was a dog.
Didn't she say she killed a dog?
I think that was a cover up for what she actually did.
I
I'm
don't know.
trying not to do spoilers here, Dino.
Yeah,
I'm trying not to do
it's
spoilers.
the first act. It kind of happens in the first 20 minutes. It's not really a spoiler. It's just the fact that she says that, and it's you don't see her doing it. Therefore,
Because it wasn't a dog.
it was a
Think
thing.
about what happened. It wasn't a dog. She couldn't admit to herself what she did do. She didn't kill a dog. Think about what happened right at the end.
Yeah, I know what happened at the end. At the start, there's like a small skeleton in she digs up accidentally.
Yeah, I don't think that was her.
That's what happens at the start, and it's like it doesn't give you enough for it to pay off.
Yeah,
It's
you
very
see,
confusing.
I don't think that was her, and I don't think that that's what she was talking about. I think she was using it as an excuse. People bury their pets and stuff in their gardens all the time when they pass away. There is every chance that she saw that and it triggered something in her that reminded her of something she'd done in the past, but she equated it to being the dog. I don't believe that she killed the dog.
Yeah, I think this is not giving me enough context on it. Or I'm kind of just phased out at certain points. Like I say, the first part of it was kind of dull, and then you get to the
If you
twist
want
in
me
it.
to tell you and then you want to just add some bird sounds over this part,
I'm just
I
gonna
can
leave
tell
it.
you. I'll tell you in the spoiler zone. I'll tell you in the spoiler zone.
No, I kind of get what happened at the end, and it's like just at the start of the film, she says something, and it's like, okay, it doesn't. Like I say, it's you saying it's normal. It's their normal life. This is what happens every fucking week for them. You've
Yeah,
not been given
and I
enough
think
time to let the story grow.
I think that's why that part hasn't landed, because it's one of those things of where I think if you once you get to the end, you for me at least, it was that moment of realization that she'd been hiding this stuff even from herself. The brain does weird things when you are traumatized. We know that, right?
Hmm.
I also think that she just wasn't prepared to admit to herself what she did do. And I think it's one of those things of where don't get me wrong, like, again, I can't go into it too much without giving it away. I understand why she might have said that and why she might have thought that and why it might make sense. But to me personally, I don't think that's what happened. I'll explain in the spoiler zone if I remember.
I think that's the issue I had with it. It doesn't give you enough of normal life and the weird stuff and the weird stuff paying off because there's not enough normal life for the weird stuff to be weird. It's like baptism, 10 years later, weird stuff. You're going to go back to the cult and do drugs for therapy.
I don't know if she necessarily went back to the cult either though, because
It's people who had the same thing because the guy doing the ritual was part of the group. So it's like people who were part of that group.
yeah, I don't know. I don't think
And I'm not sure Mormons do that kind of stuff anyway, really.
Mormons do some crazy shit if the secret lives of Mormon wives is anything to go by. Um I don't know.
Yeah,
I
like I
sort
say,
of got
it's
the sense that it wasn't her necessarily going back to the cult, but them covering up
but that
an
would put the
indiscretion and an incon
psychiatrist in on the whole thing because he's the one
not
who said about it.
necessarily. I put again in commas inconvenience. Um, because obviously an indiscretion would be seen as an inconvenience for people who have the beliefs that those this particular group of people were holding in the movie. I do think that um, the psychiatrist potentially saw it as this will be helpful because again it's exposure therapy. And
Mm.
psychiatrists are not always, I'm going to say there are psychiatrists out there that are amazing. There are also some out there that are absolutely shit. Um, they're
But
fucking diabolical.
but again, you've not seen
Um,
enough of the psychiatrist and her
to
interacting
know,
to know if he's a good at his job.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And so it's hard to tell if he isn't on it or if he's seeing this in an incredibly naive set of eyes of it'll be good exposure. It will help.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff you see at the end which you think he's been treating her for how long, and he's not even cracked the surface on that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is one of those where there's a lot of stuff where it's people moving around the place and looking at things. And again, isn't this weird? Isn't this weird? And you could have done 45 minutes, maybe even done an hour before they even got to the going to the therapy. And like built up, built up, built up, and told the story of where she is in life and what's going on. And there's odd stuff happening, but you don't quite know what it is, rather than just going, yep, weird stuff. This is like could have been a great 70s kind of film, like Rosemary's Baby, where it's like they're sort of in this situation where you're learning who the people are, and then the weird shit starts slowly coming into it. Whereas this one is just gone fast forward, speed run right to the weird shit.
I wonder if it's because though, and I have noticed this sometimes with movies. Um, a lot of movies now, I feel have a lot of detail they want to add in, but the runtime ends up being a concern. This movie could have easily been a 2 hour movie if they'd have added in the additional details. And a
Yeah,
lot of people, and this is a damning indictment also, I think, on the way that people are watching movies and any kind of content. In that a lot of people are I think it was Matt Damon that was even talking about it recently, and I think I've spoken about it before as well, where people aren't necessarily watching movies anymore.
yeah,
They're putting them on and then they're sitting with their phones. And so a movie that lasts longer than an hour and a half is not something necessarily people are going to watch. And so I do wonder sometimes if directors, everyone involved in a movie, are cutting out things to make the runtime shorter to make it more desirable for people to watch, which means that their movies don't always land.
yeah. This definitely didn't land for me in terms of where it ended and where it started.
Yeah.
Because again, let's go back to the synopsis on this one. An ancient ritual unleashes the vengeful spirit of a cursed witch.
See, I never got that from the movie. Yeah, I never
Yeah.
got that.
But yeah, the first act is kind of that, let's say, didn't really hit with me. The second act, I think, is I think my notes are get the fuck out of there. Get the fuck out of there now. Why the fuck are you not running or calling the fucking police?
Ben said that so many times.
Do you mind if I just take one more look around? No, fuck no. Let's have it before it gets dark. Let's not hang around getting drunk. And just my last note is why the fuck are you still there?
You know the scene where the lights go out and then she lights the match? Ben sat there and said, I wouldn't be turning any lights on. Put that light out. Just ignore it. It'll go away. If it can't see you, it's not going to get to you.
Yeah. Genuinely, I don't think I've seen a horror film where the protagonists more deserve to die than this one. Because they are just like, weird shit happens and they decide to stick around for another day. Just
You got yourself into this mess. You can fucking deal with it.
Yeah, it's like you've had the big exorcism scene, quotes, and it's like, just go now. Just done. You're done. Don't worry about it. And if weird shit happens when you're in the city, it happens in the city. At least you're not in the middle of nowhere with like a car with a flat battery or whatever. Yeah, and then I don't know, the last act, I think there's lots of stuff in it which looks really cool. That looks really cool. That looks really cool. And I've called it the Evil Dead Mormon because she essentially becomes a deadite. There you go. I'm going to spoil it a little bit because it's probably in the trailer somewhere. And that didn't really sit with the rest of the film. It's like you thought these really great scenes and it doesn't fit in with them. It's like we're going to get to this point somehow from this. And there's a story in there which I think is really good. But it's kind of hidden by the fact they went for the big Evil Dead ending.
Yeah, I see. I don't remember much about the Evil Dead ending.
She becomes deadite. Which is fitting because she's in the new Evil Dead film, which is being made now.
Oh.
Yeah, Evil Dead Wrath. Not the new one that's coming out, the one that's being made.
Okay.
It's a whole franchise now, isn't it?
Yeah, everything is once it reaches a certain point. I'm not against franchises either. Like, I think sometimes they can go really well and sometimes they can absolutely fall on their arse. I think it just depends on how it's made and how it's played.
Yeah, they're fine, the ones I've seen.
Like, same as like the 28 movies. I need to watch, it's not the newest one, it was the one before. I think it's 28 years later. I still need to watch that, but there is another one that they also pumped out of nowhere, and I'm a bit like, I'm gonna eventually just get probably bored of these movies.
Incredibly excited to see it 28 years later, and then they went, oh, it's actually part of a trilogy.
Yeah.
And now it's like they're going to do an entire franchise.
And it's sad because the original, it was 28 Days, wasn't it? The first one. It's such a good movie.
Yeah, we got to just make a single film, and that single film is like, that's all you need. Like I've
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah,
great movie, single movie. He's not tried to make a sequel. He's not tried to do anything with it. It's just a good movie, standalone. It could have had a sequel. There is plenty of reason for it to have had a sequel, but he didn't, and it's perfect, and it's a great movie. But again, that the only reason I think of that is because it came out around the same time as 28 Days, and it's the whole reason that Shaun of the Dead, or at least that Edgar says it did so well, is because 28 Days came out around the same time, because he was worried about making a zombie movie at a time when zombies weren't really in movies as much. There wasn't really any big zombie movies, so it was one of those where I was like, is this going to be a good movie? Are people going to enjoy it? And then everyone enjoyed 28 Days. And then that movie, Shaun of the Dead, came out, and it was like, yeah, it hit.
Mm.
But yeah, we need to stop messing around with formulas that work.
Yeah, because I've seen people say about the Nightmare on Elm Street series, and it's an interesting idea. They're saying like you don't need Robert Englund to play Freddy. You don't even need Freddy. You just need a new demon monster. And it's like, just make a new fucking demon monster then. Just don't.
Make a new set of movies.
Yeah, you're trading on the name. It's like, okay, just no, just make your own one. I think it's because people recognize the franchise. And that's always coming down to it. It's like it's part of a franchise of this, so we're going to watch it because it's that. Whereas, I mean, this could have been like the Evil Dead Mormon, could have been part of the Evil Dead series somehow, but because it's not. It's not going to get the recognition. If they put the words Evil Dead before this, people have watched it. Yeah, people just don't want to try new things a lot of the time. And yeah, overall thoughts on this one. I don't think it really gets going until the last act. I said it's got an interesting twist, which I liked, and they could have built on that.
Yeah.
It needed more of the normal life and the weird stuff happening, and it could have been a really good film if they went with the. Try not to spoil it. Yeah, can't spoil it. If you want to listen to the spoiler zone, you'll get what I mean. It's that part of it I liked, and it was a surprise when it happened. It's like, oh right, okay, there's something interesting going, and then it just went off the rails at the end. It's like this is what I think the marketing team wants. Like say, it's short films or films at a certain length, and it needs to have this at the start and this at the end. And they've done that, and then fit in the middle bit with which feels like a different story entirely. Which didn't have enough time to.
Didn't get the witch stuff at all. For me, it felt like a conversion therapy movie. That's how it felt for me. And I think if they got rid of that synopsis and rewrote it to be a conversion therapy movie, they'd be doing themselves a hell of a lot more favors for the actual movie that they created.
Yeah, except the last act is a bit. The fuck's this got to do with conversion therapy?
Yeah, I get why that would be like a but
Blood everywhere.
I'll discuss it in the spoiler zone, I think, because it ties back to the first part as well that I was saying earlier. I don't believe it was the dog.
Anyway, yeah, I can't recommend it, but if it's on streaming and you've got nothing else to watch, yeah.
It's one of those movies, right? Like, I think if you don't take it seriously and you ignore everything that's written about it in terms of what it's about, you would enjoy it. I didn't read the synopsis beforehand. I did watch the trailer. I try not to research a lot about the movies beforehand because I try to go into it with my own set of eyes first. So I'm not disappointed by whatever the subject matter is, which I know like you research and stuff beforehand, whereas me, I'm like, I'll wait until after I've watched it because I just don't want to disappoint myself. Like to me, it's one of those movies that again, if you just don't bother reading what it's about, you probably enjoy it. Visually, there's some really nice stuff in there, like some really good gory bits. But yeah, it's not a movie I think I'd watch again.
Yeah, and you've got to be a real horror fan who gets the tropes of it rather than someone with common sense. Because
the man with the gold sunglasses.
I watch horror films like, and there's like leaps you can take, you know, like suspension of disbelief kind of thing, you know. I believe zombies could exist.
Yeah.
I believe if zombies exist, you're still not going to be hanging around a certain area for a whole fucking day getting drunk.
Yeah.
So where can we find you?
On Blue Sky, Nona Goth, 2 Fs. Still there. Only place really you can find me for Glasses Talk. You know, I can talk about glasses.
And totalcultzone.com where you can find me, and I won't try to trick you into believing in an ancient sky daddy who watches and judges you while you masturbate.
No one's judging.
totalcultzone.com. On to the spoilers.
We're doing them now.
Yeah, if you don't want the film spoiled, turn off now. If you don't mind finding out what the dog was an allegory for,
Yeah, I'm about to explain what I felt it was.
go for it.
So, right at the end where when the twist happens and we find out that she actually killed somebody
Yeah.
in that cult, I believe the dog was a catalyst for her remembering that. I think she hadn't recalled it. And because obviously, I mean, that's something that normally would haunt you forever, but it absolutely can happen within trauma for the brain to black out certain memories. And obviously, it's going to be traumatic enough that if she was in a situation where her life was being controlled and everything else, that part of her memory would probably black that out. Like logically, that kind of makes sense. It might seem like it's far-fetched, but it's a movie about some really far-fetched shit. So it's not actually far-fetched within that universe. To me, she didn't kill the dog. The dog was what she was. It was her remembering something that had happened, but misplacing it to what actually did happen. Because I don't think she recalled that she killed this person until we saw the twist. I think she knew she'd done something bad. She just misplaced it.
It's then the fact that she killed someone who was the girl she had feelings for.
Yeah.
And because the guy who liked her witnessed it and reported her for doing it, the friend blamed her for pushing her into it, so she ended up killing the person because she got possessed by an evil witch. And that's why they're to get the plumber in to snake the hairball out of her throat.
Yeah, I don't recall much of that.
That's the bit I kind of go, it's conversion therapy because, not acceptable in the Mormon faith, homosexuality.
Yeah.
And I get that. That was the part I liked about it. It was like, okay, they're going this route with it. It's like she's being punished for this, but how does this connect in with the evil witch? Because they make up some evil witch story where it's like she killed some people or killed some kids. And this is why it's like I feel like the ending was like these great visuals. They went, oh, we've got these ideas, but then we have to link it into a story with this. And it made no sense to add that element into it because she could have killed anybody. The fact that she killed someone she had feelings for, and it's because it's not something that's acceptable within that faith. It's kind of like you could have gone somewhere much better with this.
Yeah, it could have continued through that.
It could have been a much different film.
Yeah. They could just, that's why I said like they could just drop the witch part. But then I suppose with the ending, it's one of those, like I don't remember much about the ending. I'm gonna be honest.
Do you remember her boyfriend cheated on her with her best mate?
No, but I gathered that was where it was going.
Again, I don't know where that come from.
I mean, this goes straight back to a callback to a movie where a leather jacket means that you're instantly a drug addict, I suppose. Like it feels like it's just the easiest thing to throw in for additional trauma that wasn't really necessary to the story.
Yeah,
it didn't need to be in there. Like, she was already traumatized. That was already pretty apparent. There didn't need to be more catalysts for it. Yeah. But then I guess it depends on whether they're looking at it as a betrayal of love, and the betrayal of love that she had when she decided to kill someone that she cared for, fancied, loved, however you want to see it. But even then, like, I feel like that is such a stretch of the mind to try and group it together. The only real spoiler that I've got. I don't really have any other spoilers.
I mean that is the entire spoiler, really.
It's the entire movie.
Yeah. That's why I kind of I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
That's worse. That's somehow worse.